Hi, this is Brooke with Fishy Stitchery, and in this video we are going to do the cast-on round for the twisted and seated gloves. We are going to be doing a German twisted cast-on because it has a little bit more stretch than just a long tail cast-on, and sometimes that's really nice to have around the edges of gloves. So I'm going to start with my smaller needles. The pattern does call for size 5s for the ribbing part, so these are size 5s. And since I'm doing this in the magic loop, I'm using a 32-inch long cable. So I'm going to give myself just a slight little tail, and then keeping both of my needles together, I'm going to wrap around the number of stitches that I need. Now for the pattern, I am doing a size 3 for these help videos. And so it says for me to cast on 34 stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I have 34 loops on my needles. The way I personally join in the round, I add a stitch, and then I will knit the first stitch of the round with the last stitch of the round, and that creates my join. It does not say to do that in the pattern because different people prefer to join their rounds in different ways. This is just how I do it personally, so I'm going to be adding a stitch for that. So now that I have that point, this is very similar to a long tail cast on. It's just got a few added steps. So I have my center here. I'm going to dip my needle down and twist it up for the first stitch. So now for the German cast on, we're going to go under both of those loops in the front and through the middle, around the loop in the back, and then we're going to untwist from this front. So we're going under that first leg, over and under that second leg. You can see that stitch right there. And now holding that so it doesn't go anywhere, I'm going to let go of the thumb and slowly pull the stitches. We'll do that again. Under both legs in the front, up and through the middle, around the back, loop up. Now we're going to untwist by going down and up through the legs and around underneath. You can see that. Now we're going to do that again, under both legs, up through the middle, around, catching that loop on the back, and then untwisting by going under and around, and then let it go. So now I'm going to keep going so that I can cast on all of my stitches. Okay, I have 34 stitches on my needles. Now remember, the pattern calls for 34, but the way that I personally join in the round is by adding a stitch, so I did cast on 35. So you will see that there looks like there's an extra little loop underneath there. This would be the wrong side, where it looks like there's purl bumps with the little extra loop underneath there. So now when we join together, we want to make sure that this stays on the outside. So with magic loop, I like to just kind of split them approximately in half like that, and then push the cable through. You want to make sure that you do not twist the stitches here when you join them, so you want to keep all those little bumps in the middle facing each other as you move the cables through. Okay, so the tail you want going down, the working yarn you want going up. Now this is the way that I personally join in the round. All right, I have all of my loops facing up. There's the bottom. Here's my working yarn. I'm going to hold this tail down here so it doesn't get caught or anything and nothing gets loose. I'm going to slip this stitch over to the front needle. I'm just going to pick it up and move it to that front needle. You can pull on the tail a little bit to make sure it stays a little tight. And taking that needle, we are going to knit those two together. Okay, and so that technically is the first stitch of my next round, and it also joins together my knitting. Okay, so if you're going to keep with us in these help videos, you can go ahead and meet us on round A1.